All right, let's say you are thinking about doing Pinterest marketing for your business, but you're just not quite sure where to start. Or frankly, you're not sure if Pinterest is even right for you. Today, we're going to talk about the things you need to know to make an educated decision about whether or not you want to incorporate Pinterest marketing into your business. And if you do, a few first steps to get you started. Hey there, if you're new here, I am Kate Ahl. I'm the owner of Simple Pin Media. We are a Pinterest marketing agency with almost 11 years of experience with Pinterest marketing. We work with clients that are content creators and e-commerce sellers. Alrighty, let's dive in. Before we dive in, I do want to let you know that we have a Pinterest for Dummies video series. So after you're done with this, go watch that to kind of get a deeper dive into the basics of Pinterest. But number one is you need to understand how Pinterest fits into your marketing. So let's say you have this big circle and in the middle is your business. You have all these little spikes going out, kind of like a bicycle wheel. And you're choosing, I'm going to use email marketing, I'm going to use Google SEO, TikTok, Instagram, and maybe you get to Pinterest and ask yourself, should I incorporate this into one of those little spokes going out, bringing traffic to my business? Pinterest is a cold source of traffic. So we put that next to YouTube and Google. It means people approach the platform looking to answer a question, looking for a product, or looking for an idea or concept. They're not really interested in following a brand or getting to know somebody. We leave that for Instagram and even TikTok. Facebook, I would say they're kind of in between, but it's not a cold traffic source. It's still warm. So the number one thing you need to decide is, do I need to incorporate a new cold source of traffic into my business? Speaking from experience, I use Google SEO and I also use YouTube here and I use Pinterest. Those are my top three that I would never get rid of if I was starting a business over. I would always keep them in my suite of options. And then I would venture into probably Instagram, then Facebook. I'm still on the fence about TikTok. I don't love it, but that's how I kind of evaluate where Pinterest fits. The next thing you need to work through is if you are a Pinterest personal user. That means that you've used Pinterest personally for a really long time and you can't quite frame up how to move from a personal user to a business user. So you using Pinterest personally actually gives you an advantage. Why? Because you actually use the platform. You know what you like, what you don't like, you know how the search works. So think about it this way. You're going from using it this personal way to business, so you're just changing the angle with which you look at the platform. Here, you're approaching it for yourself. Here in business, you're approaching it as to serve the people on the other end of those searches. That's it. So you want to make sure you get a business account. Now, a lot of people ask me the question, do I want to convert my existing personal account to a business account? The only way that this works is if what you've been pinning personally is really aligned with what your business is. But if that's not the case, then I would create a whole new business account. And what's cool is you can link them. So you can toggle back and forth between your personal account and your business account without having to log in or log out. It's pretty easy. That being said, if you decide to use Pinterest, just get a business account. It's the terms of service. You have to do it. You get a lot of super cool features. Honestly, just do it. Last in kind of understanding where Pinterest fits and everything is really understanding how the ecosystem works. So actually my tip for you, if you are not one of those personal users that I just referenced a second ago, grab your phone and just search through Pinterest. Pick out keywords. You can even search your business. Just get familiar with the platform itself. We find that most people who do this have a better advantage to getting started with Pinterest marketing than those who approach the platform cold, where they don't know anything, makes them confused, they don't understand. So use it personally for 10 to 15 minutes at least, and just kind of get your bearings as to what the Pinterest platform is like. Listen, I know that your inbox is probably really full of emails. I get it, mine is too. But if you are pursuing Pinterest marketing, I think we have one of the best newsletters out there about Pinterest marketing. It's not super wordy, but it gives you just enough details to keep you up to date on anything that's happening on Pinterest, any resources we find relevant. our latest podcast and our latest video here on YouTube. It takes less than 5 minutes to read, comes out every single Wednesday, and it's called Pinterest Made Simple. We curate this newsletter with the education that we do for our team by pulling in all of the articles and resources and giving you what we find most relevant. So I don't want this to be another email in your inbox. So if right now you feel like, Kate, I just cannot take another email, that's totally fine. But if you are looking for information just to keep you up to date, just kind of like a touch point, you can sign up for the Pinterest Made Simple newsletter here below in the description or here with the QR code. So get the Pinterest Made Simple newsletter today. We promise not to clutter up your inbox and be more of an additive to your Pinterest marketing. All right, now that you've decided to use Pinterest marketing as a part of your overall business marketing, now it's time to establish goals. What we tell people is that Pinterest is a very slow moving marketing channel. I think it's very similar here to YouTube, where you have to keep investing over time in order to yield good results long term. Just like on here, you could watch this video if I published it a year ago, or you could watch it when I've published it 2 weeks from now, right? Where it's the same thing works on Pinterest. Somebody will find your pin 2 weeks from when you pin it or 2 years from when you pin it. So it's important for you to understand that one, it's a very slow burn. It takes a while to get momentum. Number two, establish your goals. What do you want to have happen with your Pinterest marketing in your business? What are some metrics that are really important? Just to give you a head start, saves are the number one thing that Pinterest looks for. It's when a user saves a pin to their board, it's an indicator of interest. It's the number one thing that we look for. And then we look for outbound clicks. So establishing your goals of what you want to get from the platform will help you set up for success. You won't be thinking, I want to grow by 25% in 6 months. That's a really hard goal to hit depending on where you're starting. So what I would say is plan to use Pinterest for 6 to 9 months. Plan to learn it. Plan to see who the pinner is that is engaging with your pins, and just be really investigative about it with the hope of getting X out of it. Here's an example. I use Pinterest marketing because I want to get people on my email list from Pinterest. So I would say my goal in using Pinterest is to grow my email list, even though I also have products and I also have services. But I know that this is the number one way to get a cold user into my ecosystem and warm them up. So that's my goal for how I use Pinterest. Then I benchmark it with all my different analytics so I can see if that is actually working. Next step. You've decided you're going to choose Pinterest. You know it's going to take you a while. Now you need to put things in place that help you stay consistent, meaning using certain tools. There's a lot of scheduling tools out there. Pinterest even has its own scheduling tools. We can link below. We've done some videos about scheduling tools for Pinterest pins. We'll put those in the description below. You can go watch those. The other thing is to just really remain consistent with choosing keywords and creating images. Images and keywords are two things that speak to one, the algorithm, two, the person. So the keywords tell the algorithm, very similar to Google SEO, how everything works. It's kind of like this pin is about this topic and it has these subtopics. It's just kind of how it all fits together. Then when it comes to images, the person, the pinner, sees those images and decides whether or not they're going to click on them. So you're serving two purposes here, but it's important to remain consistent on choosing the right keywords and creating a really, really good image. All right, this is not so much of an in-depth tutorial as to how you can go deep on keywords, how you can go deep on video pins or standard pins. We have lots of videos here on our channel, but I really want you to think about as you're watching this video, do you want to incorporate Pinterest into your marketing plan? And really asking yourself why. Too many people hear these stories from around the web about how so-and-so got so much traffic from Pinterest or so-and-so got so many sales from Pinterest. That is so great. And I love that people are getting those results. But it's important for you as a business owner to say, okay, if I want these certain type of results, how much time and effort am I going to put into Pinterest in order to get that type of result? Once you do that, I guarantee you'll be set up for success, because at the end of that 9-month testing period, you can decide, is Pinterest right for me, or is it not the channel that I need it to be? If it's not, that's fine. But if it is, you want to then level up from there and continue to get better and better at your images and your keywords. We have a really fantastic mini course that covers everything to do with what I talked about today when it comes to keywords and images and really getting a pinning strategy. It's not expensive. It's not all time consuming. It's something you can really consume within a week. So go ahead and grab that below. It's called our Pinterest Marketing Blueprint. Super simple. After that, you'll probably have more questions about how you can optimize, but this will at least get you started. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching this, and dive in next to our Pinterest for Dummies video.